Drop-in interview in studio today. Welcoming to the show, Coach Bo Bivens, former head basketball coach at Clark Atlanta, currently scout for HBCU All-Star, and also doing some work this week with Team USA's U18 team here in Memphis. Coach, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure, Jessica. Thank you for having me.
All right, so first let's explain what's going down in Memphis this week with Team USA. Team Canada is here as well.
Correct. It's so much. Just a lot of basketball excitement for the end of the year recruiting period. So it's about a total of 800 guys approximately from all over the country. You know, with Team Canada being Team Canada highlighted with about 60 guys in total. So it's just been a great week thus far. You know, with a lot of basketball, a lot of talent, a lot of excitement throughout the city of Memphis.
So you're also doing work specifically with the Basic Athletic Measurement Group, BAM, who has been responsible for over a decade now of providing measurements for the NBA Combine. I'm sure things like this week. One, how did you get in with that group, and what exactly is it that you do?
That's a funny question, Jessica. So working with HBCU All-Stars, you know, we select the top HBCU players, top 24 HBCU players around the country. And so we play Final Four weekend wherever the Final Four is being held. And so this previous season, it was in Houston. And so BAM did the measurements and, you know, assessments of the HBCU players. And so from there, the relationship was birthed.
Okay.
And so when this event came up, they kind of reached out to Travis Williams, who's the founder and executive director of HBCU All-Stars LLC. And so he reached out to me and, you know, asked me if I would be willing to do it. It was a no-brainer.
Who are the craziest measurements you've ever seen?
Oh, my God. It's interesting because we literally do everything. So we do reach, you know. So there was one guy, he had like almost a 90-inch reach. Like, I was like, my goodness. Then there was another young man. So we do hand measurements, you know. And so, you know, the width and the length of the hand. And one guy had like a 10 and a half. You know, so just those little things, you know, that kind of stick out, you know, because you don't really know just looking at a person what their reach is or what, you know, what their hand measurements are. So just you know, little things like that kind of stick out.
CJ sent a player to the group who I was unfamiliar with, Olivier Roux, who is 7'6". This is him right here. He's from Brooklyn, holds the Guinness World Record for tallest teenager. Have you ever seen a basketball player this tall?
Oh my God.
And the answer is no, because he has the world record.
I mean, when you walk in the gym, it's like he's like one of the pillars, right? And he just looks human. He just looks down at everybody. I mean, he just sticks out like a sore thumb.
And so he's there at the camp right now.
He is, yep. He's there, and yeah, it's just almost unfair, you know, just to see how big he is, and you know, when they get to playing, they just throw the ball up. You know, you ain't got a chance. It's just, you know, just hope he miss.
So obviously he stands out. Are there any other young names that people should know right now where they can say in a couple of years, like, oh, I remember Coach Bo Bivens said this is someone I should look out for?
Oh, man, it's so many, you know. Team Takeover has a couple of guys that are, you know, pretty good with a great, you know, with a huge upside. Pro Skills, you know, these are EYBL teams when they just kind of stand out just based on, you know, their competitive nature. Atlanta Celtics, you know, have a couple of guys that are pretty good as well. So, and then, you know, with the individuals in the academy, it's just kind of tough because it's so much basketball going on. You just can't really just narrow in. So I just see a lot of games, a lot of teams, but specifically, you know, it's just it's just hard to just identify just one or two.
This is the start for some of these players, because some of them are going to go on to do big things, not just in the D2 ranks, but also D1. We'll be seeing some of these guys in March, and some of them will go pro, and some of them will be on the international team as well. And so the news came out yesterday that the international select team, the USA men's basketball select team roster, was announced. And when you look at the roster, you have Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, Peyton Pritchard, Chet Holmgren, and Quentin Grimes, who all started with the under 18, with the junior teams playing in these camps. What does it feel like to know that, hey, I'm having a part in the future of USA basketball?
It feels good. I think just to have this opportunity is big for me. A lot of people, could have been here, but I was one of the few that was selected to be a part of this. So I don't take it lightly. I'm a basketball junkie. And so to be able to watch these young men and be able to talk to them one-on-one and give them, pointers here and there. It was one kid from L.A., and I was sitting with his dad, and I asked his dad, what do you think he needs to work on, and he was like, well, he needs to work on his left hand, this and that. And I say, well, I think he can rebound more, and so after the game, I was able to talk to that young man, and he said, Coach, I'm going to do that. I'm going to rebound more. So just to be able to talk to these young men one-on-one and give a professional insight to what it's going to take for them to improve their games and what coaches are looking for is just a great honor and privilege, in regards to being here.
The life of a scout is really hard. Like, I think it's something that a lot of people who love sports in general, basketball, football, every sport has scouts, and so many fans don't understand like the sacrifices that scouts have to make. You said it, even in a situation like this, hundreds of players to try and identify who's good, who needs work, who can be that next great that we eventually end up seeing. And you travel a ton too. What is the hardest part of your job? And then also, what do you love the most? I think you just mentioned what you love the most. So what's the most difficult part of being a scout to you?
I think the most difficult part is just being transparent, because you don't want to, I guess, devastate a kid.
Crush dreams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But at the same time, you want to be real with them, And so there are times where, I have to talk to, parents, coaches, and players, and I just have to be real. He's not good enough right now. You need to work on this, need to work on that. And so I'll never forget, working with Michael Cooper when he was the head coach of the LA Sparks, and we doing the draft camp, and he had me facilitate it. And so there was some players there who I felt shouldn't have been there, and so Michael Cooper said, okay, Bo, you go let them know, and so I literally had to put all the players on the line and send those who I felt were not ready, for that level, and send them home. And they, were in tears and this and that, but that's part of it, so, and that could be difficult to tell somebody that you think you're good, but you're really not that good right now.
Did you crush CJ's dreams
Absolutely,
back
he
in the
did.
day?
He crushed
I knew
my
we were
dreams
going
over
there.
some fried chicken. We went to a soul food spot. He said, CJ, yeah, you probably not going to make it, dog. You probably not going to make it. Coach, you do some scouting for HBCU All-Star as well. How's that been, and what are we looking at going into next season's event?
HBCU All-Stars is really growing. We just completed year 2. And we started out with 80 prospects, and so I had to travel around, and then eventually, it went from 80 to 66 to 44, and then to the 24 that were selected to come to Houston. So, the talent and the growth of, HBCU All-Stars is at a platform now where people want to really, really get involved. These guys get treated first class, they get flown out to the city. So this upcoming year we'll be in Phoenix. So they'll, get flown out to Phoenix. We got a bus that's been wrapped, HBCU All-Stars. They get all the Nike gear, shoes, sweats, everything. They get treated first class, and then at the end they get a championship ring. So just to know that all these things are on the table, you got a lot of guys that's really trying to make the list, right? And so they very, very competitive. And they want to win and they want to be a part of it, But the criteria is that you have to be a senior with no more eligibility, remaining in order to be on the list. And so with that being said, guys want to go out, wherever the Final Four is being played.
And of course, the hope is eventually more HBCU players end up showing up in the NBA as well.
Absolutely. And it's a travesty that we only have one currently on the NBA roster, and that's Robert Covington with the Los Angeles Clippers, who played at Tennessee State. So it's definitely a lot of guys, with the talent and ability to play at the next level, but the opportunity has to be there for them. And so HBCU All-Stars is one platform, and so we just trying to, break through, so to speak, to put these guys on a stage where, some scouts and some other people can see them.
Well, Coach Bo, we'll have to have you back once it is HBCU All-Star Weekend, along with Final Four Weekend, and we'll get some of the best talent out from this year. But enjoy the rest of your time in Memphis, and we so appreciate you stopping by.
My pleasure, Jessica.
Coach, do you remember crushing my dreams?
I feel like this is a therapy session that needs to happen.
Vaguely.
Vaguely. You were just, CJ, you were just another one on the list, on the laundry list of dreams to be crushed.
CJ was a hard worker. There's no question that, well, let me rephrase that. Well, when he was
what
younger.
tense are we working with?
Let me rephrase that. So as a young guy, he was a hard worker. As a grown man, naturally, he's doing a great job here. But, athletically, he still had some work to do, And so I just had to let him know.
Thank you. For a long time, he tried to pose himself as an athlete, and he's just a guy. He's just CJ.
Really? Really?
Yeah, really, truly. Yeah. Tried to, put himself in comparison with like Ryan Tannehill out here.
Oh my God.
I mean, we're the same.
And a lot of people probably don't
Me
know
and
that
Zion are the
CJ
same.
stands for can't jump. So he was just
Can't jump, but I can box out. I can set a mean
no
screen.
question. Now
Is
he
that a
could
mean
do
screen?
that.
Can't jump and managed to make it through our company 3-on-3 tournament without tearing his Achilles, which not everyone could say. So that's an athlete right there. Coach Bo, appreciate you so much.